Time now for our special series, New Year, New You. Yeah. Inspirational stories from people who've reinvented themselves, whether through need or will.
And Hoda thinks it's funny. Yeah. Today we hear from Sherry Leidlich, who turned a bit of, that was actually very bad news, into her own very successful business and made it a total family affair.
Raw foods is when the internal temperature of the food never exceeds 105 to 108 degrees in temperature, so that it preserves the nutritional value of the food. Two Moms in the Raw is me and my mother. It is completely a family business. My husband helps me run the business side of the company. I'm the inspiration. I do all the product development. Unfortunately, I got into raw foods because I got very sick. About 7 years ago, I was diagnosed with MS.
When you're diagnosed with MS and you have a young family and you've been healthy your entire life, it's devastating. I mean, devastating. It shakes you to your core. It
got really bad. I couldn't hold my child. I couldn't use my fingers. I had trouble walking. It was terrible.
She just didn't feel right doing the conventional medicine. It wasn't right for her. So she started exploring a new alternative approach to getting better. Raw foods with massage therapy, Chinese medicine and herbs, lots of rest and exercise.
I only did raw foods, and within another few months my body started returning to me. I just feel like I have to take charge of what I do with my body to keep it healthy, and I'm making the right decision for me. I don't know if it would work for everybody, but it's the best I can do. Every time I went to a store looking for granola or nut bar or something, I couldn't find it. Something that tasted really good. I remember being in the kitchen on my PJs while my husband was making breakfast, and I'm making my raw stuff, and I said to him, you know I could make something out of this.
I was fully employed. I thought, wow, the timing's not great, but I'll support you. But in order to continue having our life be paid for, no, I'll keep this other job. And I did for a couple of years. I was working Two Moms after hours every single day of the week. And I said, why don't I work for you?
I'm the mom of the mom.
These are 100% raw, organic, vegan.
It's just wherever you look, there's somebody in our family running the show.
Sherry has taken a really, really devastating situation and has made it into the most amazing thing.
Here's our nut bar. I feel great. I feel strong. You know, every once in a while I think I have a subtle symptom that comes up, and I feel that keeps me on track. I'm feeding myself, I'm feeding my family. It keeps on growing, and we're just so lucky.
Now we should mention,
awesome story.
It is terrific. We should mention, though, that the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics say that there are both potential benefits and potential risks to an entirely raw food diet, and the Academy recommends before switching to this or any other diet, you should talk to a registered dietitian.
And here with advice on overcoming setbacks is psychologist and author of A Happy You, Your Ultimate Prescription for Happiness, Elizabeth Lombardo, along with today financial editor Jean Chatzky. Great to see you both. And we love hearing stories like this, you know, being able to turn your life around, especially after devastating news like this.
Absolutely. I mean, these people, I think, are the epitome of resilience, which if you think about a quality that we have needed over the past couple of years, I don't think there's anything else that tops the list.
Yeah, and they also did it right, didn't they? Because the husband kept the job for a couple of years before
they needed the insurance.
They needed the insurance
They
and the
were
money.
really smart about it. They didn't just jump in and go. They realized
Put
that
the toes in.
Right, exactly. And that's important, because if you don't, if you jump right in, that can cause more stress, which then can cause more health problems, psychological problems, family problems, and financial problems.
And when it's a passion project like it is, don't you put so much more juice into it, don't you?
Right, you work a lot harder to get where you need to go, but I do think there is something to be said about doing it smartly and testing the waters and making sure it's a viable business instead of just a viable hobby.
And and people's dreams can get them carried away, can't they? People, you can think, oh, everybody's going to love this. It's going to be the greatest thing since, you know, peanut butter.
Right.
And then all of a sudden you discovered that a couple of people like it, but not enough and you've given up everything for it.
Yeah, that's true. But I also think when you look at resilience, which we've learned through the academic research over the past couple of years, is one of those things you're born with, but you can also really get more of.
Absolutely. It's a skill that we all can learn.
And one of the ways to get more of it is to do something when you're feeling stuck or when you're feeling put down. down, and it
proactive
may
about
be
it.
the wrong thing, and you can switch up later, but you get going, and that helps you.
You don't feel as helpless.
I think people don't know the ABCs of what to do. I think people are frustrated because they might have an idea, but they don't know how to go about that.
Right, and you can, if you've got a business idea and you want some help, you go to SCORE, which is the Service Corps of Retired Executives. These are people who've come out of the
Oh, that's
business
cool.
world. It's
Yeah.
free, and they can help you put together a business plan, run the numbers, and think about whether it's doable.
Both Kathie Lee and I get a whole bunch of things that viewers send in that are terrific, and often they want it to be the next crock or the next whatever.
Crock pot.
Yeah, whatever it is. And I think everyone's sort of dreaming, like, maybe I can get that. I mean, it's a tough reality, isn't it, when you realize not everyone's gonna do that.
It is, but that's okay, because I think the goal should be to share it with other people and see where it goes, but continue to enjoy it. If you put too much into it and then it fails, then you don't enjoy it anymore.
And then you're going to be so depressed. It's going to be hard to get up again and try something new.
One of the things, though, that you hear again and again when talking to entrepreneurs is this is their 12th idea, right?
Right.
They had that
Yeah.
gene, and they
Right.
just stuck
Yeah.
with it until it managed to get there.
Okay.
Stick-to-itiveness.
Yes.
But we're so happy for her that she's
We
doing
certainly
so
are.
well, and the whole
So,
family.
yeah.
That's awesome. Thanks, ladies.
Ladies, thanks so
Happy
much.
New Year.
You too.